Hello, it's Sonia here, The Pretty Stitch. Welcome to my channel. If this is your first time joining me, I'm so happy to have you here. So today we are going to be doing a very quick project, and it can be whatever you want it to be. It could either be a coaster, it could be a scrubby, or it could be a motif to incorporate into a blanket project or any type of project. So here it is. I've already made one, and I haven't woven in the ends yet, but I've been cleaning out my yarn stash and I have lots of little bits of cotton, so I thought I need to make a project to use that up. And I actually could use some coasters, so I'm going to be using mine as coasters, but you could certainly use them for something else, or you could even use them for a little hot pad, a mug rug. There's so many different uses that you could have for this. So let's get started. And you can also use whatever hook size you want and yarn that you have. Now I do suggest, if you're using it for like a kitchen type item or a scrubby or something like that, especially if it's a facial scrubby, you would want it to be cotton or bamboo. And so I am using my H hook. Please excuse the rubber band. I also use this for Tunisian crochet. So it's an H hook or 5mm hook. And I'm going to be using two colors today. I'm going to use gray, dark gray, light gray. Very exciting. So as you can see, I don't have much of this, but this will be plenty to make the little, for me, it's going to be a coaster. All right, so let's get started. So what we're going to do is this is going to be worked in the round, and we are going to chain 2. And you can also use as many different colors as you like. It's definitely a great stash buster. So for round 1, we are going to work in the second chain from our hook. We're going to work 8 single crochet. Now, if you would rather work magic circle than work 8 single crochet in your magic circle, I'm just not the biggest fan of magic circle. I think it's too fiddly, and also I have seen magic circle completely come apart. So if you're not really sure what you're doing with magic circle, then it could be a problem. But if you're super comfortable with your magic circle, then feel free to work 8 single crochet in your magic circle, or magic ring, I guess it's called. So let's see how many we have. So I have 6, 7, and 8. All right, so we have 8 single crochet. So what I'm going to do is I want to attach my light gray now. So let me find it. And I'm not going to cut my dark gray because I want to carry my colors. So I'm going to insert my hook into that stitch, pick up my light gray, pull that through, and I'm ready to go. So with my light gray, we are going to work double crochet. So with my light gray here, we're going to chain 3. Okay, and we are going to work 2 double crochet right back in that first stitch there, that first single crochet. So now we have 3 double crochet in this first single crochet, and we're going to continue to work 3 double crochet in each of these single crochet stitches. So we will have a total of 24 double crochet at the end of round 2 here. Okay, so I have worked my 24 double crochet. I finished up that last stitch by changing to my dark gray, and so we're going to join with a slip stitch, but we're going to not join on top of that chain 3. We're just going to join right in that first actual double crochet there, so that that first double crochet kind of overlaps that chain 3, so you don't really see it. Just like little tricks you can do to make your work look as neat and tidy as it can. All right, so let's begin round 3. So round 3, we're going to chain 3. We're going to be working a cluster stitch. We're going to yarn over, and right back in that same stitch, we're going to pull up a loop like we're working a double crochet. We're going to yarn over, pull through 2. We're going to yarn over again, go right back in that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 3 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through all 3 of those. So we have our first cluster stitch. Okay, so after we've worked that first cluster, we're going to chain 2. Yes, we are. Didn't want to stay in. All right, chain 2. We're going to skip the next double crochet and we're going to work a cluster in the next one. So this cluster was the setup, so this will be the actual cluster. So we're yarning over, going back in that, we're going in the next stitch. So skip the next one, go into the next stitch. So we're pulling up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, right back in there, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So we're going to yarn over again, right back in that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2. So now we have 4 loops on our hook. When we have 4 loops on our hook, let me get this ball, it keeps snaking over. So now that we have our 4 loops on our hook, we're going to yarn over, pull through all 4, and we are going to chain 2. And we're going to repeat that. So chaining 2, skip the next stitch, work the cluster in the next stitch. So yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over again, right back in that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, pull through 2, yarn over, right back in there, pull up a loop. So now we have 4 loops, yarn over, pull through all 4, and chain 2. So we are just repeating this all the way around for round 3. So at the end of round 3, you're going to have 12 clusters and 12 chain 2 spaces. Okay, so I've worked my 12 clusters. I have to work my final chain 2. So it looks like we're not skipping one, but we actually are. Here's that chain 3, but because it's kind of overlapped, you don't really see it, but it's going to be fine. It won't affect the look. So we've chained 2. We are going to join with a slip stitch on top of that cluster, not in a chain 3. And I'm going to pick up my gray and pull that through. Oops, just picked up an extra loop. Don't want to mess up my work here. Did it again. What is going on? Here we go. So now I'm going to actually cut my dark gray because I don't need it anymore. Just to get it out of the way. Now if you don't like the carries on the other side, you can cut each color and then attach your yarn. But this is going to be for me. I actually need some coasters. I was looking at my coaster situation. I'm like, I really don't have any. Some had broken or just gotten lost, so I thought I need to make some. So these would be for me, so I really don't care if that looks like that. It's fine. All right, so let's begin round 4. Okay, I just realized I'm going to need to work in this chain 1 space. So, what you could have done, I don't want to slip stitch to there, it's going to show. So what I'm going to do is, since I already cut my gray, so I have my chain 2, so I just have my little tail. I'm going to work that slip stitch in that first stitch and have that like that. And so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to attach my yarn in that next chain 1 space. So I'm actually going to cut this gray. It's all about just having your work look as nice as it can. So these little tricks that you can do. So let's attach that yarn. So we are going to chain 1, and I'm working a half double crochet in that chain 2 space. So I have my half double crochet. So in that same chain 2 space, we're going to yarn over, we're working another little cluster. We're going to go right back in that chains 2 space, pick up a loop. We're going to yarn over again, go right back in that chain 2 space, pick up a loop. So now we have 5 loops on our hook. We're going to yarn over, pull through all 5. And we're going to chain 2. So in the next chain 2 space, we are going to, sorry, my battery died. So we have our chain 2. We're going to work in that next chain 2 space. So we're just working that half double crochet in that next chain 2 space. Now we're working that smaller cluster, yarn over, pull up a loop, yarn over again, go back in there and pull up a loop. We have 5 loops on our hook, pulling through all 5 of those and chaining 2, and we're going to repeat that around. Okay, so I have worked my half double crochet and my little clusters all the way around. I have my final chain 2. I'm going to join with a slip stitch on top of that first half double crochet, and I'm not changing colors. I want to keep using this light gray. So now we have one more round for round 5. So we're going to chain 1, we're going to single crochet in that first stitch. We're going to chain 2, single crochet in that cluster stitch. We're going to single crochet in the next chain 2 space. We're going to chain 2. So we're going to start the repeat here. So single crochet in that first half double crochet, or the next one, not the first one. We're going to chain 2, single crochet in that cluster stitch. We're not chaining 2, we're going to single crochet in the next chain 2 space, and we're chaining 2. So that is the repeat. So single crochet in that next half double crochet, chain 2, single crochet in the next cluster, single crochet in the next chain 2 space, chain 2. So we're just repeating that all the way around, and then we'll join in our first stitch and we'll cut our yarn, and our little motif, or for me, my little coaster will be all done. And of course I'll need to weave in my loose ends. So I'm going to keep going and I will meet you back. Okay, so here is my coaster, or whatever you want it to be, coaster, mug rug, or scrubby for dishes, or it could be a makeup scrubby for your face, or you could actually use this and incorporate it into another project. Like if you wanted to make a lacy top, you could use a smaller hook and thinner yarn, and you could kind of do a free-form crochet with these as well. You can have a lot of fun with this pattern. So I have joined in my last stitch to complete round 5 here. So you just need to cut your yarn, and then this is my coaster, is going to be all done. And I had so much fun with this. I made another one, so I actually have 3 now. So I used 3 different colors with this one. I think it's really pretty. I used 2 with this, and then here's this one, and I used 2 different colors. And I did use an H hook with all of these guys. So these are going to be fun coasters for me. So of course you're going to need to weave in any loose ends and block your project if you need to, and then you're all set. So I hope you enjoyed this project, and if you did, please like and subscribe, and thank you so much for watching.